button.
I don't know. It looks like.
So
Only thing is, it looks like I've got earrings in.
Well, I'll tell you something, all right? So for those of you that have just joined us right now, we are having a lovely chat, Ian and myself, as we always do. And I just said, let's just press the record button, because we thought we weren't going to record because Ian's got these dangling Pat Butcher style earrings in today because he couldn't get his sound to work properly.
IT.
Yes, yeah. But I've just recommended a good sound IT guy to him, which I... so hopefully that will get fixed. And I just said, let's just press the record button. So let's bring everyone up to date, up to speed. Ian, what were we talking about?
Yeah. Well, we started talking about COVID and the effect. I called it the elephant in the room. How agency has changed. People are sort of rolling with it at the moment, but post COVID, you probably got 15% of estate agents in the UK that are now self-employed in one guise. Before COVID, it was probably only about 5%. It's a massive shift. Everyone had to go home. We all went home, whether you were self-employed or you were working for a corporate or an independent. We all had to go home. So everyone set up offices in rooms and sheds and everything else. And a lot of people have just stayed doing that. It worked.
You know what? I want to just cut it here. All right, it's like a GDPR field day minefield when that happened, because before then you couldn't do anything at home. If you're working for a company, corporate, or even just a normal estate agent, and you wanted to take home your database, no way. Well, so then that sort of grey area just went by the wayside.
Can I tell you about the extreme? When I was with Connells, I was the recruitment director, reporting directly to the board. And I remember trying to negotiate with my boss, who was the CEO of the whole business now, 1 day a week to work at home. And he really wouldn't have it. It took me months and months to negotiate with him. He didn't, for whatever reason at that time, they just didn't trust that you'd work at home. They thought you'd be watching Loose Women and all the usual gags that people make. And within obviously 2 or 3 years with COVID, in that business, all 7,000 people went home, had to be at home. And they were successful. They carried on making money. They had probably the best year that they'd ever had. Obviously, the market helped because obviously, the government helped the property market. But it was just, I call it the elephant in the room, that people still aren't talking about the change, the massive change.
Can I tell you what I think, is that what the employers were worried about was that, you're right, people would be sitting there, laying on a sofa, in their dressing gowns, watching Loose Women, eating a bag of crisps, and, and that's it, all day long. And the people that do that are the people that still do that. But people that work full time don't do that.
No.
My sons, my two eldest sons, are both very successful estate agents working in their fields in central London, and they were smashing it from home. It was almost like they had the best of everything. My son was making phone calls in his dressing gown. I can't do that. I still have to get up and have my ice cold shower and feel like, boom, I'm up there, I'm working. But they're younger and they felt that they could do that, but they were doing deals. And I think that what's happened here is that employers realised not only that they could trust their staff to continue, but they didn't have the pressure of someone watching over them all the time. So then they could become more proactive. And what that leads on to is what I do, what we do as self-employed estate agents, is the fact that you have nobody looking over you. You are so much more proactive, because if you're lazy anyway, whether you're working for somebody or whether you're not working for somebody. And 100%. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, I remember when COVID first hit, I did a video. Actually, I think it got about 25,030 views, and it was me on my roof terrace in a shirt doing a quick video. I hadn't done many. I mean, literally, this is quite new for me to start doing videos with you. But I remember standing up, and my roof terrace overlooks the canal to look at a boat. I had my Spurs pajamas on, so I had a really crisp, smart shirt on, and then I turned around, and then literally that was on the video, and then I sat back down. and the comments and the views were hilarious. And that was probably April, May, as we went into the first really big lockdown, you know, when it was really serious.
Yeah.
And I think it just opened up so many thoughts and processes that people could think, you know what, I can do this. I can be at home. The biggest issue about working from home can be loneliness. You know, we like to be with colleagues, we like to share. And I think there's a misconception that when you're self-employed, you're working from home, you're on your own. And I think lots of people are. I mean, people that set up totally on their own, I don't get it. I think, you know, I don't think I could do that if I didn't have people to speak to all day long, colleagues on the line, groups where I could discuss and get help. I mean, we talk probably 3 or 4 times a week. I talk to all the other agents that join me with EXP all the time. I just get a phone call saying this has just happened and what can I do? So you're never alone. And even down to, it's Friday we're doing this video, and this morning at 9:30, there was 71 of us in our meeting, in an EXP meeting.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got everything that you would want from being in an office and being with people, as well as that comfort of working from home and doing your job and working hard. I always say whether you've got employees or you're self-employed, you can't make someone get out of bed in the morning, have a cold shower and smash it.
No.
So it is a personal thing. You know, you have to be able to do that. And employers are constantly trying to make their staff be like that. That's the difference. So self-employment is self-employment, it's self-motivation, it's self-preservation. You know, it really is self. But you're part of a team as well. You can be part of a team. And I think that's where it's changed so much. The one thing I get from people is I like working with people, I like being with people. Companies are doing lots more social events. So even at EXP, we meet, don't we? We meet for coffees. We have local meetings. We have big meetings. And even this morning, taking it to the other extreme, we were talking about company trips to Orlando and Vegas next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so what's different? What's different to what we do and all the agents with the EXP or, you know, other self-employed opportunities where you've got a team, a big team of people, and a structure and an infrastructure behind it. What's different to that, to working for a corporate?
Well, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me yesterday about talking to people and connecting to people. So what you've just highlighted is how us as agents can still have colleagues and friends who are other agents who are all working for the same ultimate goal. And we were actually talking in this morning's meeting about how we're doing referrals in different parts of the country to each other. But yesterday I went to one of my networking groups and it was a face-to-face one. And that was, that was good because you're not just speaking to your clients, your customers, other estate agents, but you're also touting for new business, and new business comes from anywhere. And then later on in the afternoon, I booked a one-to-one in at Radlett Bathrooms. Okay, so it's where I live, and Trevor. So I go to meet Trevor in his bathroom showroom at 3:30 and sit there for a cup of coffee. And obviously my thought process was, you've got a shop selling bathrooms in a busy high street in a town that I've sold properties in and I want to get more, and it's high-end stuff. So you're going to loan loads of people that may be doing their properties up to sell them and various things like that. So we're having a cup of coffee, we start chit-chatting. Half an hour, 40-minute goes by, and it gets to the point where I think, right, well, I've got to go now. This is too nice. So I said 2 things to him. I said, do you know what? Because he said to me, what do you like about what you do? And I said, things like this. I said, if I was working for somebody right now, I would have had a phone call. Where are you? How long are you going to be there for? Is it productive? You need to get back to the office right now. Okay. They would have been the 4 questions.
Yeah.
So I leave him. I hadn't even arrived home yet. It was like a 20-minute drive to go, and the traffic was awful. I hadn't even arrived home yet. He phones me up and he says to me, oh, I've passed your details on to this family, these people. Exactly that they having their bathrooms done up. They're having the house done up. They're looking to sell. And this morning, 9 o'clock this morning, they phoned me up, and I'm going to be doing a valuation there next week to go in. They're not ready to come on the market yet. because they reckon they've got about another month, 6 weeks before it's finished. And it's a big house. It's over £1 million. And it's like, so was that good use of my time? That's me talking to people. That's me putting myself out there, enjoying myself and getting some...
you know, it's nice, Mark, you shared that story, because what's going to happen this afternoon and tomorrow is Trevor is going to have about another 8 estate agents coming in inquiring about new bathroom suites. And offering to buy him a cup of coffee. It's a great point. I never really thought of that. You know, going back to my employed days, yes, I literally had a timesheet. You know, if I went out for evaluation, they expected me back in an hour with a result. You know, I couldn't stop and just pop into a local shop and have a chat with someone and ask them how's it going, or leave some leaflets with someone, or take 3 hours off in the afternoon because there's a fete locally that you wanted to be at. Just couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So
I just want to just say, I specifically mentioned Trevor's name and his job as a plug for people that are watching this as well. There could be someone that wants a bathroom, because that's what you do. You share.
Well, it's not far from me, so I know where to go now.
You share and
not far to it. So you know, no, it's amazing that the changes. I think it's been really interesting this morning, Mark, because you know there's so much we can talk about, and it's not just selling EXP. It really isn't for us. You know, we're too long in the tooth. I love it when I hear someone's gone self-employed, whether they've come to me and you or they've gone elsewhere. I love the change. We're catching up with America. We're catching up with France. We're catching up with Spain. Only country in the world where 80%, 90% of the workforce are employed by someone else on a low basic. Only country in the world. Unbelievable. So it's the beginning of something, and absolutely loving it. So it's been great, Mark.
Lovely. Well, listen, thanks for listening to us today. Anyone that's listening and watching in with his lovely earrings, and myself with my beard. And we will see you again next week. Thank you very much. Have a great week, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Cheers, Mark.
Cheers.